8 facts, all with an unexpected turn, from a recital built on thousands of songs to a doodle that was badly misunderstood. Each one shows how ordinary moments can lead somewhere surprising. She built a recital series around more than 4,000 art songs, and the scale itself became the message. In Cologne, she founded a recital series, a concert format built for voice and piano, and kept returning to the same stage. The turn was not a single breakthrough, but a long accumulation of performances, each one adding another song to the count. That consistency let the project grow into more than 4,000 art songs, a number that showed discipline more than spectacle. What lasts here is the method: one voice, one piano, many songs, and the quiet record of a recital series kept alive by repetition. He applied on a whim, and that single form opened the door to the Royal Winnipeg Ballet School. Cameron Fraser Monroe was already connected to dance, and the school was one of the most respected training places in Canada. The surprise was not the application itself, but what followed. The school saw enough promise to offer a scholarship. That support turned a casual try into a serious path, making elite training possible instead of only hopeful. A quick decision can matter when skill meets the right opening, and a scholarship can turn a passing idea into a real decision. Her first public musical performance happened at a Christmas service, not a concert hall. The setting was Together at Christmas, an annual carol service at Westminster Abbey in London. In 2021, the service included carols, readings, and invited guests recognized for service to their communities. Her piano piece was broadcast on UK television and radio, so a private skill became a shared seasonal moment. That made the performance notable. It was part of a widely watched Christmas service, where music, ceremony, and community met in one broadcast event. A student's doodle was mistaken for a satanic symbol, but it was really Xiao, a character from a game. Xiao is a fictional figure with sharp shapes and a strong silhouette, so a quick glance can miss what makes the drawing familiar to fans. The misunderstanding grew when the sketch was seen without the game context, turning an ordinary fan drawing into something people read as a warning sign. Once the character was identified, the alarm softened into embarrassment and explanation, because the same lines meant something very different with the right reference. The small drawing became a reminder that symbols do not speak alone, people need context, or a simple sketch can look like a thread instead of a character, and that is why a careful explanation matters before a decision. A t-shirt can become fine art when a curator frames it that way, and Andrew Mroczek has built exhibitions around that shift. Mroczek is an American artist and curator who also works on collaborative projects about LGBTQ rights in Peru, and he directs exhibitions at Lesley University College of Art and Design. The turn is simple: once a shirt enters an exhibition, it stops reading only as clothing and starts reading as a chosen object with context. That change affects how visitors look at it, because display, placement, and curation tell them to read material, message, and design together. So the shirt becomes a guide to the people and ideas around it, not just an item on a hanger, and that is the quiet power of an exhibition decision. Forum Linker Pena was called a factory for story writers because it turned regular meetings into a steady stream of new voices. It began as a writers' collective, where people came not just to read, but to practice writing, share drafts, and learn from each other. The turning point was its training culture. Members were encouraged to write often, get feedback, and keep improving until stories started coming out in volume. That routine helped the collective produce published stories and made its name travel through schools, bookstores, and literary circles. The lesson is simple: when a group builds habits, feedback, and confidence together, writing can become a shared craft, and even a small meeting can leave a lasting trace in a book. He went from flag football to becoming an NFL draft prospect because his game kept growing after a very small start. Flag football gave him the first feel for spacing, timing, and open field movement, but it did not look like a traditional path to pro football. Then college football at Nichols and John Carroll gave him contact reps, route work, and a chance to prove the speed was real. That steady development led to a pro opportunity, and the Tennessee Titans signed him as an undrafted free agent in 2026. The important part is not that he started with a perfect resume, but that each step added enough proof for the next one, and the signed contract became the clearest trace of that progress. Bull Believer turns addiction grief into a lyric full of odd references, and that mixes the point. Wednesday wrote it together, recorded it in Asheville, and released it as the lead single from Rat Saw God. The lyrics pull from Cocaine and Rhinestones, then jump to Mortal Kombat and Augustine of Hippo, a philosopher from early Christianity. That contrast makes the song feel raw and unstable, which matches the pain of losing someone to addiction. Instead of one clean image, the song uses borrowed pieces to show how grief can sound fragmented, and the lyric choices leave a clear trace. That's the pattern behind all 8 stories: small choices, strange interpretations, and big consequences. If you enjoyed these turns, subscribe and tell us which facts surprised you most.